So here we are at Mapperton, outside the coach house with some beaver superheroes. This is the team that is probably responsible for more beaver introductions than anybody else in the UK, certainly at the moment. In fact, you're all kind of leading the vanguard and responsible for beaver introductions all across the country, Scotland, in the southwest. And we are really pleased because we are looking now to see whether Mapperton might have suitable habitat for a reintroduction here. So you've been out surveying this morning, and tell us what you found.
Well, surprisingly large amounts of good habitat for beaver reintroduction, and we've found lots of dense willow woodland down in the bottoms of valleys, really good wet woodland, which is not really being used for anything anymore, and yet can have quite a lot of floodwater passing through it, and can have quite a lot of sediment laden poor quality water passing through it. And of course, when beavers set up their coaches in those kind of places, they build dams that slow the flow of that water and capture that sediment. So they're ideal. They'll also bring more wildlife, but they're ideal places to do this natural flood management as part of their life cycle, living and building dams and
because one of the opportunities at Mapperton is that we're up in the headwaters of the River Brit, and the River Brit flows down through the town of Bridport, and Bridport sometimes has very severe flooding events. And the thought is that if we can reintroduce beavers up here, that will attenuate, that will alleviate the flow of water, and therefore ideally we'll have less flooding downstream. And Derek, you've physically moved a lot of beavers back from Europe to the UK. I think you've even been bitten by one.
Yeah, I've been bitten by one twice. Once when I wasn't paying attention, I was trying to impress somebody at a show, and then the other time I just dropped it, and it turned around and bit me straight through the chest, and it hurt like hell. So what we're looking at are landscapes that have been over-engineered by us, we know that. The price of that has been massive loss of biodiversity, quite catastrophic. In the case of this island, to the point where we're one of the most impoverished wildlife nations there is in the world now. And what the beavers do is, I mean, very, very simply, by impounding water, by felling trees, by doing the multiplicity of things they do, is they kiss the earth again with life.
Yes, so this is ecosystem restoration, and it's being done by beavers
They are,
in a way that they would have been in this landscape 400 years ago doing exactly that.
It's in large part down to us saying, actually we can tolerate something. In the past, we are the most incredibly intolerant species. When you look at not just the history of the beaver, but the history of animals like the wolf or the wildcat or the pine marten or whatever else, the only reason why these creatures are no longer here is because we really have been running more or less a holy war, over the course of the last 1,000 years, absolutely determined in every fibre of our being to exterminate these creatures. If they had no use as a hunting animal, if they had no use for any other purpose, we just swept them from the face of this island. And we have to find a different way of moving forward. We have to build a better future. And at this point in time, as the political situation changes in the way that it has done dramatically, it's a tremendous opportunity for us to build a better world, not only for ourselves, but for the generations that follow.
Yeah. There are so many things in place now, aren't there, to really feel quite optimistic about the next 10 years in terms of beaver introductions and in terms of new approaches to land management. And we hope that the things that we're trying here are going to be exciting for other people to come and visit, because part of what I think is important is not just that we're here benefiting, but that other people can have more access to the countryside, can come and see these animals in their natural habitat, doing all of these wonderful things. So I think we've got a huge amount to look forward to. And thank you all for your help so far. We're just at the beginning of the journey. There's going to be many more things to come.
Good. Look forward to it.
Thanks.
One of the projects I'm really most excited about this year, 2022, is the arrival of beavers at Mapperton. And the fantastic news is that we've been awarded a grant to build the most expensive part of releasing beavers in the UK, which is the Beaver enclosure. And the Beaver enclosure is essentially a wire fence that encloses the pair of animals that we're going to be bringing here. And the fence covers about 8 acres. It's enormous. and it has these high sides, and it's got a skirt, which means that the fencing actually goes down into the ground so the beavers can't dig underneath. And we are here in Hoelacre Wood, which is going to be the location of the enclosure. Hoelacre is a most magical wood, and you can see that running down the middle of it is this stream. And of course beavers need streams because they've got to build dams. And so looking at this stream here, you can see there's quite a lot of water flowing, and it's flowing easily because at the moment there's nothing to stop it. But we know that when the beavers get here, the first thing that they're going to do, because that's what a beaver does, is react to the sound of flowing water. And if I just stop talking for a second, you'll be able to hear what I mean. The sound of flowing water is the sound or the signal to a beaver that something needs to be done to slow it down. They like peace and quiet. They don't like this babbling brook sound that we've got in the background. So they will do everything that they can to interrupt that. And what that to them means is chopping down some trees and creating dams. But then the question is, how do we enclose the stream? And that's actually the most interesting part, because what we have to do, we can build a fence around the edges, but when it comes to the stream itself, we have to put in a grill. So if I show you over here, and we have a look, this is actually roughly where we're going to run the grill. You can see that the stream has carved its way down, and it's got walls on either side. And so what we have to do is get a custom-made grill that slots in at a 45-degree angle onto the stream there. And that will stop any beavers from coming out this way, because at the moment beavers aren't allowed in the English countryside. They need to be kept in enclosures. The government is looking at that and considering whether to allow them what's called open release. But for the time being, if you want to have beavers in your landscape, you've got to have them in the enclosure. So this is where the grill is going to be. And this wood is essentially, well, it forms a V. There's a valley in the middle, the stream runs down, and then it works really well for the enclosure because we've got two tracks, one on each side, and it means that people who want to come and look at the beavers, me for example, and I hope many of you, will be able to look down from the tracks into the enclosure. It's really hard to actually spot beavers because they're nocturnal and they don't much like coming out, but you can see everything that they've done to the landscape. You can see obviously all of the trees that they felled, and then most interestingly you can see the dams. Hopefully you can find their lodge as well. But we're here for another reason today, which is that we also have badgers in this wood, and I want to make sure that the badgers and the beavers happily coexist. And we found a rather large badger set up on the left-hand side here. So what I'm going to do is take this trail camera and attach it and see if we can capture evidence as to whether it's a live set or not. We're standing in one of the most interesting parts of the wood because actually there is this small pond, which I think either my parents or my grandfather created a long time ago. You can see that it's pretty silted up. Not a pond I think that even Julie would want to go and swim in. Actually, maybe she could. Far side doesn't look too bad. But the great hope, of course, is that the beavers will restore this pond. What I really want them to do is kind of dig a channel from the stream here so that we start to get more water going in there. And you can imagine that if they dam it at that end, they'd raise the whole water level up and we'd have an enormous pond or even mini lake, which would really please Julie for some wild swimming. Looking behind here, you can see the other parts of the stream, but also you can see that there used to be a pheasant pen in here, and the pheasant pen is part of the shooting infrastructure. We keep the birds in and protect them from foxes. But with the changes that we're making at Mapperton, we are stopping driven pheasant shooting, and we're going to be pulling out this entire pen to make way for beavers. So I suppose in one sense, we are replacing one pen with another. But I think that these new creatures that are going to come to Mapperton are going to do much more for the ecology than the pheasants ever managed, and that's a good thing. I'm standing on the top track at Hoelacre, And what you can see on my left is the current fence line. So this is the old pheasant pen, and the pen runs, I don't know, 500 meters or more that way up into the top of the wood, and then down below you can see the stream, and then roughly at our level on the other side is the other track. So there are two tracks, one on each side of the woods, which really makes this such a good place, because it does mean that people coming to look will be able to see down and hopefully see the dams and the ponds and all the things. But before we can put the fencing in, one of the things we have to be sure about is badger activity, because badgers are protected in the UK, and we need to make sure that what we're doing with the beaver fencing isn't going to interfere with their well-being. Badger well-being is very important. So in order to do that, I've brought a camera trap, and what I'm going to do is attach that onto here and then leave it for a few days, and then we will see. Now, looking at this badger set, you can see how they've dug in underneath the tree here, but I don't see any evidence of fresh markings. So whether this is an active set or whether the badgers are just staying indoors for now, I think in this weather I probably would as well. When we come to put in the fence, obviously we have to remove all of this existing fencing, and it's something I'm quite looking forward to, because one thing about shooting and pheasant pens is that they leave an awful lot of mess. There's piles of wire sitting down on the track that way. There's plastic, there's feeding systems. I can see a big blue pipe running down the hill over there. There's all sorts of kind of corrugated shelters, etc. It's going to be rather wonderful to get these woods back, and in this case, to hand it over to a pair of beavers. Now, I know that there are people who are going to leave comments and they're going to say, but you're not going to have any trees left. Well, I don't think that will be true. I think the beavers will take out some of these trees to help with their dams and in order for them to eat the foliage. But overall, I think the impacts that we're going to see here will be magnificent. And anyway, it's all enclosed, so there's no danger of them going off and damaging anybody else's land. Right, camera trap. I think I just switch it on like that. And now I've just got to attach it to here. I'm here back in Holeacre Wood with Ben. And Ben, since the last time that I came here, this place has changed enormously. I mean, there's an absolute blanket of bluebells.
Blanket of bluebells, the white flowers coming through as all the wild garlic as well. So, yeah.
The smell of the wild garlic.
I've
got to get Julie out to kind of make some wild garlic soup. She's going to be so excited.
So yeah, no, it's been a whole acre now. It's been sort of a very high of activity really. Been very busy in the last couple of weeks.
So the key reason that we're here today is beavers. We're back looking at the future territory of the beavers at Mapperton. And the plan, as people may know, is to bring 2 beavers back into this wonderful ancient woodland. And Ben is here doing the planning for that. And Ben, what are the things that we're trying to do for the beavers? Because we need to make their lives relatively comfortable. Yeah,
so we need to make sure that they have everything that they need. I've never seen a beaver, so I don't really know exactly what they need, but they've got sort of running water here, they've got the stream, they've got sort of fresh vegetation, plenty of wood to sort of have a go at as well, and hopefully build quite a lot of dams. And that's what I have been doing the last couple of weeks. I have been building about 6 dams we've built now.
You've been building dams?
I have been building dams. And
actually I can see behind us that we've got one of the dams that you've been creating. Ben, talk us through what it is you actually, how have you made that and what's gone into it?
Yeah, so there was just some hazel that I found the other day, so we just cut that into lengths, sort of wedged it in between. I think I've gone about two logs high, and then put a couple of other bits going across as well, then sort of backfilled it with some soil. And you can already see now that it's already starting to dam up and sort of hold water.
Now beavers are supposed to make their own dams, so why on earth are we making the dams for them?
So this is just to help encourage them, just to get them when they arrive, just so that there's something actually going on for them now, so they can just so obviously concentrate on actually settling in, because settling in for them is going to be a big stage. They're coming from Scotland, aren't they? So
They're Scottish beavers,
Scottish
with
beavers,
a Scottish accent. They're going to need to pick up a Dorset accent pretty quickly.
They will, yeah. So so obviously settling it's going to take a while, and also you're just getting comfortable with their surroundings. And then if they've got dams here as well, then it just sort of makes the process a little bit quicker as well. So we might be able to see this hopefully in the next year. Maybe it might come up a bit higher up, sort of up to my knees here.
Well, yeah, but Ben, our hope really is that where we're standing now, if we look back up the valley, the beavers will have built on this dam. They'll have raised it by, I don't know, another 2 or 3 or 4 feet, and the area that we're looking in front of us would all be underwater.
Hopefully,
this will become a completely thriving wetland.
Yes,
with all of the wonderful plant and animal life that would bring. And of course the trees that we have around the edges are likely to be felled, so not all of these trees are going to, in all likelihood, still be standing.
No, and that'll let in a lot of light into the wood as well, so that's sort of going to help with the vegetation of the wood, and sort of overall help with the round biodiversity of the sort of enclosure as well. So
that is the big plan. Ben, I've spotted a little hole here, just where you were digging, and it's a perfectly round hole.
It is.
What are we hoping that might be?
Hopefully, well, it depends what we find on Nesta's camera, but it could be a water vole. Just having a look.
Could be a water vole.
Yeah, it could be a water vole. It could be sort of a lizard or reptile.
Well, it could be a snake.
Could be a snake.
Could be a snake. Yeah. Where is Nesta's camera? Has he put it?
So his camera is just on the corner here.
So that would have picked things up. Last time we picked up a mink coming up the stream.
Yeah.
And alas, the mink are the enemy of the water vole. In fact, they're responsible for a lot of water vole destruction.
Yes.
So,
yeah, they are.
So ideally we want to trap and get rid of the mink, who are an invasive species.
Yeah.
And then, Ben, looking to the left here, we've got this this large pond area. Well, it used to be a pond. It was built by my parents as a pond, and it's now sort of silted up. But again, this is something that we hope the beavers will bring back to life.
Yes. Yeah. So they'll hopefully get in there, clean up all the water, and then hopefully, well, depending on where they're putting their dams, this all could be underwater. We don't know.
We don't know.
But that's the nice thing about it. It's all exciting.
It's all exciting, and we don't have any objectives. So kind of whatever happens,
no, we're just going to let nature take its course and get the beavers doing what they want to do.
Get the beavers doing what they want to do. Now, I have spotted something over there though, which is not quite nature taking its course. It's you giving a bit of a helping hand.
Yes. Yeah. So
tell me what's happening.
So just in the middle of building their beaver lodge, so it's just an artificial sort of lodge, just so that when they first come there, they've got somewhere dry and warm until they sort of decide they might probably. I think they'll probably build upstream, might be a bit quieter, and they might have a lodge up there. So hopefully.
So having been to the Knepp Estate, which had beavers, unfortunately they escaped from there for various reasons. But I know that they built a lodge, and I have a feeling that the beavers didn't spend a single night in it. I think the lodges are part of what makes the project fun, because if I can see what Ben's building over there, it looks a little bit like a log cabin.
It looks like a log cabin. That's what I was going for. Sort of that sort of American Canadian sort of log cabin in the woods. But I mean, I would give it 5 stars. But I mean, I'm not providing fresh linen or towels.
You're not? Oh no, Ben! Maybe the beavers would like some fresh linen and towels. I don't know. Anyway, well, listen. Let's go over and let's finish off the construction and see where we get to.
Yeah.
We are now standing by the half-constructed beaver lodge.
Yeah, now, 5-star.
5-star. Okay, yeah. You know what? It is 5-star. I mean, where have you learned how to create joints like that in the logs? You've been watching YouTube, haven't you?
I have been sort of last night was a big sort of construction meeting with myself, and just having a look. I did do woodwork at school, but yeah, it was
On this scale?
not on this scale, not for beavers.
But you know what, Ben? It does make me think that, you know, I've got this plan to put wood cabins in the woods.
Yes.
It does make me think that you may have some relevant skills for that.
Maybe I've done too much here, haven't
Maybe we might have done too much. I think these are going to be incredibly lucky beavers. Now, where's the door in this cabin?
The door's going to come last.
Oh.
So I'm going to make everything and then cut the door. That'll be the last thing.
Right. And so the hope is that the beavers discover this palatial 5-star cabin, and they come and happily frolic together, make friends,
Exactly.
have beaver babies.
Yeah.
And, you know, life goes on happily ever after.
Yeah.
That's the idea?
That's the idea.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay. What could go wrong?
what could go wrong? I mean, they could take one look of it and just go straight up the other side of the stream. I don't know.
Yeah. I wonder if they like building their own house, and they might
I think they probably
you know,
do.
Yeah. Anyway, don't let me get in the way. So you got to cut some more timber and
Got to
put
do a little
some more
bit more
pieces on.
Yeah, I'm just going to put a bit across the middle, just to make it supportive, and then hopefully it shouldn't blow over in the wind or shouldn't collapse.
I think it's looking pretty sturdy to me, so I wouldn't worry about that.
Perfect. Might just need to take a little bit more off
Little bit more off one
either
end.
side.
Now, I mean, far from it for me to kind of comment on your mastery of building construction,
Yes.
but I think beavers are bigger than that. I think they need another story.
Well, wow. When I measured it yesterday, I had Tika in here with me, my dog, and
Yeah.
she was sat on one side,
Yeah.
and there was just enough space. I mean, if you can fit 2 Labradors in.
Yeah, but what if you're a beaver that wants to be a meerkat, you know, where it sort of stands up on its legs and wants to kind of, you know, walk around its living room?
I mean, I'd have to do another. I need to do 2 stories, won't I? I'll be doing stairs next.
Yeah, exactly. Upstairs bedroom.
Upstairs, downstairs, beavers.
Or we could dig down, couldn't we?
We could dig down.
Create a kind of
But how do you know
a
they're
cellar.
not going to dig down?
Well, exactly.
Exactly.
Maybe you
So-
should leave them with something to do.
Yeah.
All right, you know what? I'm going to shut up because I don't think I'm helping at all. But that looks magnificent. But yes, you're going to need to shorten that bit a little.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect.
Perfect. Look at that.
Yeah. Really nice. So is the idea that they hop over the top, or you do another one of those?
Well, no, that's just for the tin, just a bit of structure on the tin.
Oh, that's. I see.
And then what I'm going to do next is I'm then just going to, I probably do that now actually, is just going to cut these 2 here,
Yeah.
then sort of make a gap opening for them.
Excellent. So so they're actually getting a tin roof.
They're getting a tin roof.
They're
Yeah.
getting a tin
It's not natural, I know, but
Well,
as this is just an artificial one, so we just got to
Yeah.
make sure they've got everything.
I mean, it's not like you're giving them slate or stone or,
No.
or something, but you know. All right, I'll let you get on and do that. Very nice. Look at this.
Look at that, there we go.
A grand entrance. I mean, you know, I can just see the beaver kind of coming up the bank here,
Yeah.
you know,
Just
walking along.
Just had its bath for the day.
Just had its bath.
Yeah, something to eat.
Coming back home, finding the kind of door, seeing Mrs. Beaver inside, and kind of heading round for a nice cup of tea. What do you think, Ben?
Does this mean I have to plumb the water in now, does it?
It will never end. So Ben, we've done the grand entrance and entrance hall,
Yes,
and now he needs a roof.
he needs a roof.
So what are you going to do?
So now I'm just going to drill into each corner. I'm just going to put a pin in, just hopefully so it's a bit more structurally sound for them. And then we've got some tin here that I cut up yesterday, and then we'll just put the tin on top, and we'll just drill down, and yeah, hopefully shouldn't go anywhere. And then I'll go around the edges with the spade and just dig in a bit of soil onto the back end of it, and then fill in all the gaps.
Fabulous.
Yeah, so
yeah.
it's coming together.
And if the beavers decide they don't want to go here, I suppose we've created a lovely refuge for snakes, water voles, rabbits,
Yes.
badger, fox,
yeah.
all kinds of Mapperton creatures might decide
Yeah.
to have a little holiday.
Depending on what's in the enclosure, I suppose, isn't it?
That is true,
That is
yes,
true.
because they will be stuck in here. And also perhaps depending what food you lay out for them to
Yes.
entice them.
Entice them. So.
Right, I'll let you get on. Ben, that lodge is looking incredibly smart now.
Yeah.
I made a minor contribution to the roof.
Well, if the roof blows off, I know who to go to.
You do, you do. I mean, it's a bit wonky at the back,
Yeah. I mean,
isn't it?
It can't be perfect.
Do you think I should have done a slightly better job at the back there? But
Well, we can always bend that
you
tin
can
down,
always
can't
bend
we?
that out. I have a feeling that Ben is going to undo
I think
what I've done
I think you've
and make
made
it
me
much
lose,
nicer.
I think you made me lose half a star there, Luke. I think it's 4.5.
No, we come down to 4.5.
4.5.
Anyway, job done.
Job done.
Congratulations, it looks fantastic, and I think the beavers are going to absolutely love their new lives here. This is a super exciting day for Mapperton because it's the day that the beavers are here and are going to be released in their pen. Now, Nesta and I and Ben have been down there trying to make sure that they've got a lodge, that they've got dams, and then Ben has been absolutely working his hardest to put in this extraordinary enclosure. It goes the whole way round, about 8 acres of forest and woodland. Finally, it was finished a couple of days ago, which is terrific because it means that it's just in time for today. We've been planning this release for the last couple of weeks and everything is finally falling into place. The key question is, are the beavers here? I got to go check in the car park to see if they've arrived. Hello, Rasheen.
Hi.
Here you are.
Yes, and the beavers.
You've made it.
Yes.
And the beavers.
And the beavers are here.
And the beavers are over there.
Conveniently in the back of your truck.
Are they behind that blanket?
Obviously, it's a big day for them as well, so the blankets are over to keep them a bit quieter. But you'll hear them as we approach.
So we're not going to go closer now
No.
because we don't want to disturb them.
Try to keep it as calm as possible.
And they've just come from Devon,
Yeah.
is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So they've been on a journey, they've no idea where they're going, obviously.
They were in Scotland last week.
They were in Scotland
Devon
last
this
week.
morning, now in Dorset.
It's all looking pretty confusing for them. We've now got to take them down to the woods to see if they like their new home
I hope
and
so.
enclosure.
Yeah. I mean, we know it's good habitat.
Yeah.
We know they've been translocated from situations in Scotland where they can't stay. So this is going to be a good experience for them, far much better where they were.
Than
So.
where they were,
Yeah.
yeah. So an amazing thing though, Rasheen has had Nesta to stay up with her in Pitlochry, and he came out helping you.
All hours of the day.
It's about 7 a.m. here in Scotland, and well, I'm just below the Highlands, just north of Edinburgh, and I'm checking on the beaver traps so that we will have a beaver to release down in Dorset. This is the trap. There's no beaver in it, unfortunately. You can tell just because the door's open. This is what I've been doing for the past 3 days, going around checking traps, moving them around.
I hope he enjoyed it.
He absolutely loved it. Can you imagine what's better for a 15-year-old who's absolutely obsessed with nature
Yeah.
than to get a chance to come and work with you? And he did trap a couple of beavers.
We
didn't
did, and while he was there, it was really good luck. We caught a few beavers. So yes, he was carrying traps, lots of hard work, but hopefully he saw the good side of it. We had beavers, he saw the whole house screening process.
Yeah. Well, this is so exciting. Now we've got to
Cool.
plan who goes in which vehicle, how we get there, and I know my parents want to
Oh,
come along
nice.
as well.
Perfect.
So somehow
Perfect.
we'll make it happen. brake, and we're here.
Rolling back.
That wasn't so good, was it? That wouldn't have been fun, would it, Ben?
No, it wouldn't
if
have been
that had
fun.
rolled off down.
Yeah, but it shows you the topography that we've got here in this woodland, doesn't it?
We're here to do some inspecting.
A lot's happened in here the last couple of, well, only the last couple of days really, but it has changed now, because obviously this used to be the old pheasant pen, which is no more.
There is no
Yeah.
pheasant pen.
No pheasant pen.
Can't even tell it was ever here, to be honest.
You can't, can you? Is it all gone?
It's all gone, yeah, all been pulled out, all the wire, posts, everything.
I can see someone who's smiling. No pheasant pen.
No pheasant pen.
But some new
But
posts.
New posts, yeah, and this is our beaver enclosure, starting to go up.
This is the beaver enclosure.
This is the beaver enclosure.
It's
yeah.
not going to hold many beavers at the moment.
Not at the
is it?
moment, no. No, there was
No.
no. We need wire. We need some grills.
Right.
Still in early stages, but it is coming together now, which is great, really. Because how long have we been planning this now?
Well, yeah.
I've only just joined, but
the project has been planned for over a year, I think, and it's actually happening.
Yes.
Beavers are coming to Mapperton, and amazingly down there we've also got the posts that are crossing the stream. It's quite frustrating because we've come here expecting to find the robot post basher. Alas,
it is somewhere.
alas,
It's somewhere in here.
robots don't work as long hours as humans today because it's only like 3 o'clock or something.
I think it's operator though, isn't it?
And the robot has gone. I thought the whole point of robots is that they kept going.
No,
indefinitely.
Well, I think it's robot assisted, so he can
Right.
drive it
Right.
for safety. I think it's more
Right.
that's the robotic side of it. But
And it's been bashing all of these.
all of these posts
in.
Yeah, so they're 7-foot posts.
So, Ben, we're here and I can see that we've got the pond
Yes.
down there.
Yeah, we got the pond.
And
yeah.
you've been doing some work to that, haven't you?
I've
we go have a
been beavering away down here as well,
You've
Luke.
been,
So-
so good. Ben's been beavering away. So,
Yeah.
Ben, what have you been doing here?
So
Quite a
here-
bit of plumbing.
bit of
Yes.
plumbing really. Yeah, so I sort of hand dug out the pipe. So we had a pipe that would be almost acted as a sluice to divert the water from the stream into the pond, but that was blocked up.
And what do we think we need to do at the end to make the water level rise?
Because I've taken the pipe out, unblocked it, let the water flow through.
Yeah.
Now I've managed to find the overflow.
So can we go and unblock the overflow?
So it is unblocked now, so you can hear that sound.
Can we
you
go and
hear
block
that. So yeah, we can block it then to fill up the water of the pond even more.
Let's go and look for the overflow.
So looking like there's another steep bank we've got to traverse down. Oh
Oh
god.
dear. Right.
You can use the vines.
So hang on a second, Ben. That looks like water coming out there.
Yeah, so I did think that there was an overflow pipe, but it doesn't seem like there is. It seems like it's just, but it looks like it's been doing it for a long time because we have got quite a lot of water building up at the bottom there.
So the water's coming back here,
Yeah,
but what it's not doing is causing the pool to rise.
no.
So I've had an idea.
Uh-oh.
Nesta knows that when I say things like that, it's usually not good news.
No.
We should get some sort of obstruction
Yeah,
over there and try and block off this water
yeah.
and see if we can get the pond to rise.
And raise the level.
And
of
we'll know we've been successful if the water coming down here stops making such a noise.
Yeah, definitely.
What do we think? Yeah, good plan?
I think
Could work.
it's a good plan.
Could work.
Could work.
I reckon that if we found a suitable log or, decent sized bits of,
Bits of timber.
timber, we
Yeah.
could like plug it over there. What do you think? Can you see anything?
I think I've got some
Something looks pretty good over there.
bits over here. Where are
Do
we?
a Tarzan swing
A,
across.
a Tarzan swing. What, with this creeper here? You're quite right. Do you think? Well, do you want to go first?
Oh,
no, that wouldn't
no,
have been
I
good,
don't think
would
that
it?
would have been a good idea.
Okay. Wah! Okay, I made it. Now, so this one, on the other hand, this one's really sturdy. No,
I mean,
seriously, it's really sturdy,
It
this one.
looks pretty.
It's got my whole weight on it. I think you're going to be fine on that. Here you go, come on.
Oh god.
Just give it a go. Remember to make the noise. It's fine. I'll hold this so you'll be fine. Okay?
Yeah, I'm not sure how much that's gonna help.
Well, it'll help a bit. I just do it. Come on, just do it.
Okay, that was more of a
He
jump.
didn't do a Tarzan noise. He didn't do a Tarzan.
I don't know what a Tarzan noise is. What's the Tarzan noise?
He goes. Oh.
Stick that one in.
Okay. That's quite good at that. Right. Good thing Julie's not here.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do we got? Okay, this is perfect, Ben. 'Cause
Yeah.
Look, that is a proper little wedge, and it's
wedge
sort of
in
perfectly shaped.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let you go ahead.
I'll go ahead. Everybody grab some timber. Oh my God! I've been stung. This is what it's like to be a beaver. I tell you what, if I stand here with my weight on it, I'll wait here until the beavers come. We've arrived. This is the fabulous enclosure. Ben, you were working on this through the storms that we've had this week, so just incredible. And this is their new home. And Roisin, according to you, this is going to be quite a good habitat for
Yeah,
them.
I mean, we know how rich and diverse this is, and you know, they're coming from more arable conflict areas in Scotland, so this is probably the most trees they've ever had, the most vegetation that isn't carrots. So
They've got their own pond as well.
even better.
They've got a lodge right next to the pond, built by me and him. This is a 5-star enclosure.
Yeah.
These are lucky beavers.
Thank you for taking them.
Thank you for giving them.
No problem.
There's quite a skittish male here. If he starts coming up your way, if you could move back up the bank, would be great. We're hoping he's going to go like that, but he might come up this way. Can I just say, on a day of great sadness for Britain, it's rather wonderful to be welcoming life back to Mapperton. And thank you to so many of you here who've been involved in this project in different ways. It's been an amazing endeavour, and they look so happy. They look so happy and natural in their environment. This couple know each other already.
They're a pair.
They're
Yep,
a pair.
they're a
They
pair.
haven't had kids
Not this year. No.
yet.
Yeah.
So obviously that's the next exciting stage.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. The one thing that Nesta said, who went up to stay with Roisin in Scotland, and he was handling the beavers, and he said, "Dad, I had an absolutely wonderful time,
Oh, good.
but make sure you don't stand downstream when they break wind." It's the start of a really exciting project. We hope you'll all come back and see how things develop over the next few months and years. But thank you to you all for your part that you've played in this. It's a wonderful thing. And thank you, Roisin, in particular,
No, no
for
problem at all.
bringing them here.
No problem.
And congratulations to the beavers here today. It's a wonderful thing. Let's go through. Right, Ben, where are we off to?
So we'll probably just go and have a look at where the sort of the bank gave way. Have a
Okay.
look around there, and then we can sort of see some of the big beach that's sort of they've started chewing as well.
We are back at the beaver enclosure, and I'm trying to be a little bit quieter than normal because they could be there.
They could be, yeah, they could well be, yeah.
They could be. I'm back here with Ben, who's the ranger here at Mapperton. The beavers have been here for a month?
Yeah, nearly a month now.
Nearly a month.
Yeah.
And we haven't been back with cameras since then. Or maybe we did briefly.
Briefly.
But we didn't see much.
That doesn't count.
Doesn't count. So really we're here to see what impact the beavers have had on the landscape in the 1 month that they've been here. It's been absolutely fabulous having them here, because it gives you a real sense when you're at Mapperton that there's something you want to go and see, because you know they're out here being industrious little things.
Yeah,
so Ben, what have they been doing?
Well, they've been incredibly busy, really. In the first week, monitoring them and seeing what they've been doing on the trail cameras, they were walking a lot around the enclosure, so that's normal, good sort of normal behaviour.
Do you mean checking the perimeter,
yeah.
seeing how far they can get to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also checking out the grills as well. There was one that was sort of climbing. I think it was the male. He was sort of climbing up against the grill, and you could even hear him just tapping away at the metalwork, just sort of having a bit of a chew. Obviously realising that he couldn't get through it. The other day I came and the pond was empty, so there was a bit of erosion going on.
This was a catastrophe. Okay, Ben has been at Mapperton for a few months now, but I've never seen somebody walk into the office looking as ashen as you were on that day. And I said, Ben, what's up? And he said, there's no pond anymore. And I thought, oh, catastrophe.
Yeah.
But what had happened, do you think?
So I noticed it a couple of days before, and it was you could sort of hear a bit of trickling, and there was a bit of the bank that had eroded away. And I was hoping, I put a camera nearabouts, and they were slowly damming it up, trying to fix it. But I think one evening it just gave way.
So the bank gave way, and the whole of the pond slooshed its way down into the stream and into the Brit.
That's it.
In one go.
In one go, yeah. And
Yeah.
I came the next day and I sort of looked and I went, pond's not there.
All right, well, shall we go on in and have a look at a couple of these places? Ben, we are now standing roughly where the beavers were released. You
Yes.
and I had the
we
had the traps.
We had the heavier one out of the two.
We did have the heavier one, didn't we?
But yeah.
So we released them there, and this area was all mud at that point.
Yeah.
And one of the amazing things that has happened is that the pond water level has gone up because they've dammed over there.
Yeah.
And so the size of the pond is increasing.
It's increasing, yeah.
Which means we're getting more wetland. And having more wetland is a really good thing.
Yeah. Well, it gives them more of an area, so they feel, as you said earlier, they feel comfortable. They can tuck away.
They
from
feel safe.
Those predators.
But it also provides habitat for lots of other things. So we can't see quite from here, but it's on that far side, isn't it? Where
on that far side,
where the dam
burst.
Burst.
Or not the dam, it was the actual bank.
The bank burst.
The bank burst, yeah. And then I think it's just because there was a load of mouse holes on the top. And as they've been filling that water up so much, that water just slowly seeped into where the mouse holes were, and that sort of just made the bank then erode from that.
So it was the mice that did it.
Yeah.
Ben, I can see there's a camera over here.
Yes.
We've had one camera on there, so we can probably show some of the footage.
We can show that
of the beach being
nibbled.
Nibbled. So, and are they using the lodge? Because one of the things that you and I spent quite a bit of time doing was building that lodge over there.
Yeah, they have been inside it.
Yeah.
I don't think they're using it now.
They're not using it now.
I think it was for their first couple of nights. It was sort of somewhere to tuck away and have a look round. But no, they're not using it now, unfortunately. I think we should head on up and see a bit more disturbance.
Bit more disturbance. Okay, let's go this way. Oh my goodness. Ben, when you said a beach, I thought you meant a little kind of spindly sapling.
No, it's a big beach. Yeah, they started.
This is absolutely astonishing. Do you think when they're doing this, there's two of them or one of them, or what's?
It's mainly just one of them.
It's one of them.
Well, that's what I'm seeing with the camera. So I have got the camera just on that hazel, just behind us, and it's sort of looking down. But it's mainly just one of them. And
and this is ring barking.
Yeah, so
is that right?
Yeah,
is that the phrase?
Well, they'll start stripping the bark off, and then they'll start having a chew. So that's all. This
is all fresh.
And that's just fresh. That was
fresh beaver.
That was last night.
Now I do know that beavers can take trees down that are this size.
Yeah.
But
it'll take a while.
I mean, the sadness would be that they don't take it down, but they kill it because they've ring barked it. At which point, obviously, it would then die and collapse which isn't a bad thing
No.
in a forest.
Standing deadwood's always great for insects.
Yeah, but look at this astonishing chip.
Yeah.
You know, because their incisors are basically like kind of really sharp scalpels, just kind of cutting through and breaking off these big bits of wood. We go see the dam.
So they've added more to the
oh, look, here is the dam.
One of the dams that I've made.
So this dam is now very effective, isn't it? There's hardly
Yes.
any water coming through
at
all, which means almost all. Has this now backed up?
This is backed up
to the
nearly,
point where
nearly where the inflow is for the pond.
Where the inflow is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've essentially created another kind of pond for them.
Yeah, exactly. They use this a little bit, but I haven't seen too much activity in here. But they do slowly start adding a bit more.
Right.
Sort of, but you can see another willow over the other side of the pond there that they've had a real good chew on.
Oh yes.
Right
oh my
outside,
goodness.
Right outside the lodge.
How are we going to get over? So Ben, we're coming up to the edge of the enclosure here.
Yeah.
And I can see that we've got another beech.
Maple, I think.
Is it a maple, this one?
Maple. Yeah.
Oh, it's a maple,
Yeah.
yeah.
You've got
And this one is really being attacked.
Yes, yeah. They're,
Oh my goodness.
They're going.
Look at this. So, but you've done something with this one?
Yeah, so I've just put the mesh around it, so that's just the rest of the mesh that we've had left over from the fencing. So I just put some mesh around it just so they stopped, because it's too close to the fence for my liking. So I don't want to come one day and it to be over the edge of the fence and for the beavers to get out. So
you're basically thinking if this tree falls, it'll take out our fence.
They're very good at where they fell their trees and they know exactly where they're going, but I just wouldn't want to exactly trust them.
Take the chance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
the problem is they've already had a really good go at it. So
Yes.
so the tree might die.
Might die.
Just based on what they've
What
already
they've
done.
Yeah.
So we'll have to watch this one.
We'll have to watch this one
over the coming months.
I thought I'd better put some wire around it.
You
just
get
in
in
case.
there, yeah. There's no gnawing through that, is there? So here is one of the camera traps, and if we open this up, this camera trap is called B2, which I happen to know stands for Beaver Cam number 2. Is that right?
It is right, yeah.
Yeah, he's having a good look, isn't
he's
he?
having a look round, yeah.
Yeah, he's not happy.
No.
He's not happy that you
He's
put
just
this
like,
wire
I
up.
was just here last
He
night.
just thought, yeah, I've put in all this effort.
But I think that's obviously why now they're concentrating their efforts on the beach, and also that.
I see. So they've moved away. He's given up on this one.
So they've sort of understood that there's sort of no chance now.
Yeah, isn't it brilliant?
From every video that I've seen, they all look very healthy, very settled.
Yeah.
That night the pond washed out. I did come round here at night and have a stand round listen just to make sure that they didn't go with the pond.
They didn't go with the pond.
They didn't flush out.
Oh, I see. Flush down the bottom. And Ben, I think all that remains is to thank you.
Yes.
And last word, what do you think is the next big thing that's going to happen here?
Next big thing I think is hopefully they'll fell that tree over the pond, and that hopefully let it a bit more light. I think they'll get that done down before Christmas.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll see
and
that.
kits. When might we get some new beaver life?
We won't be until next year.
Won't be till next year.
So we'll have to stay tuned for that and
Okay.
keep on watching. But
All right. Well, absolutely keep watching, and there's going to be so much more beaver activity over the coming months. It's going to be so exciting to watch. In the meantime, I'm going to take these back to my kids.
So today Ben and I are here in the beaver enclosure because I've heard recently that the beavers have been out during the daytime. Now that it's winter, I'm guessing they're sort of coming out a bit earlier to get the sun, but I haven't been here in 5-6 weeks and I've still not seen the beavers. So hopefully I'm hoping that they'll come out for us today.
Yeah, hopefully this is sort of the time I'm seeing them, sort of 2 o'clock now, and I saw the female just on the other side of the pond, just having a bit of a feed on, stripping all the bark
Today?
off. 2 days ago.
2 days ago,
So they're a bit more active now.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully we'll see something, and then you'll see quite a lot. They're starting to take some of this hazel out here, and they've actually made their first dam on their own as well.
Oh,
so
really?
we'll go and have a look at that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you start to see just a bit more. They're just having a nibble each there.
What are they doing with the frozen pond? Are they just walking?
He's coming down here.
So Ben has just spotted, we think, the male
Yeah, I think
beaver.
it's the male. Yeah, it's just a little bit smaller, a bit darker.
Yeah.
The female's a lighter brown, and she's a bit chunky. But yeah, he's just slowly come down the hill, and then back into the sort of back end of the lodge there. So if we move up a little bit more, I can't see a silhouette, but there's a bit of vegetation moving. So if we slowly creep up a little bit more. So we've just seen the male. The male's just come down the bank. He's just come into the back side of the pond. And he's just hanging out where there's a little bit of unfrozen water. You can just hear it chewing. He's just feeding on a bit of bark at the moment.
They make a great sound when they're chewing.
So when you walk along here, just have a look down. But this is sort of where they've been using the toilet. So if you find like a little neat clump under the water, give me a shout. We'll go and have a look at it.
Beaver from a distance of probably 15 metres only. She loves to get extremely close to her, and we saw her fell a hazel tree. It was quite amazing, her just there up on her legs trying to get this tree down, and eventually it did come down. So yeah, no, it was amazing.
I didn't think we were actually going to how quickly we saw them as them coming in.
Yeah,
We've only really been here about half an hour, haven't we? So to actually
one of the most amazing
Yeah.
wildlife experiences.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
It was up there. Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
And just
definitely.
watching her just balance on the tail and push herself up
Yeah.
to get higher up into that hazel as well.
Yeah.
It was incredible. But yeah, just standing here gives you a good view of just what they have done in 4 months now they've been here, haven't they? So you know, they've almost just started penciling this here, so it won't be too long till that falls over.
Yeah.
They've
It'll look
done
quite different when that one comes down, won't it?
Yeah, they've done the odd one or two here as well. But yeah, they're still fairly active now. No signs of slowing up. But
And Ben, why are they out in the daytime now? Do you think?
I think it's just because we're getting, it was -7 this morning, so it's so cold for them. So I think they just want to come out, get a bit of sort of heat and a bit of sun on their backs before they go back in and go back to work. I'm still seeing them on the trail cameras at sort of midnight around that time as well, working and out in the water. So it's it gives them a bit of time to feed, and can sort of conserve their energy a bit as well. So
And why was she taking down that hazel? What do you think she was going to do with it?
I would have said they probably just would have been storing it for feed. So she'll probably come back tonight, and then she'll probably take off a couple more bits, and then she'll drag it back towards the lodge. And then what I have been seeing them doing is feeding just outside the lodge. So they'll sort of cut it into small little lengths, and then it is literally like a little process. So they're eating away, and then they'll just sort of twist it round and go again. It's quite cool to watch. But yeah, that's what I've seen, and you can see it in the pond here. You can see all these white sticks where they've just stripped off all the bark and they've just left them. And you do find just piles of sticks as well where they've been feeding.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I think they put on an extraordinary show.
They have,
Yeah,
And we
definitely.
should probably leave them be now.
I think so.
Yeah.